Hello, welcome to It's Just Perfume, a Luckyscent podcast where we talk all things perfume. I'm your host, Stephen Guntarski. If you don't know Steph Jones by name, I can guarantee you know her music. She's one of the most sought-after songwriters in the music industry, having written countless hits for artists like Sabrina Carpenter, Selena Gomez, Blackpink, Jade, the list goes on. I can guarantee that you've had one of her songs stuck in your ear in the most wonderful way. Not only does Steph know a lot about music, she happens to know a lot about perfume. And it was such a pleasure to sit down with her today, talk about her favorite scents and what they mean to her. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Stephanie Jones. I'm so glad to be hanging out with you. I'm going to call you Steph, if that's okay.
Great, please.
Because this is not our first conversation.
No, and it won't be our last. No. So,
I love it when you come to the store because, we have a lot of the same passions. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot to share. We're both constantly discovering things, whether it's music or whether it's perfume. And I just love your enthusiasm. It kind of feeds me.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I love yours. I've learned so much from you from the years of coming to the studio and just smelling stuff with you.
Well, the whole thing about perfume is it's constant conversations with people. So we're constantly learning too. People always ask, how did you learn so much about perfume? It's just conversations with people like you.
Yep. Yeah, it's beautiful. It really brings people together. I think it's special.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It really is special. It brings people together.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's particularly the case for you because you're quite social. You're always thinking about perfume and connecting people with perfumes. We're going to get into that, okay?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It's the light of my life. It's my biggest hobby and, it's a passion for me, so it's fun.
Now, have you always been into scent?
Yeah, I think yes. My mom, when I was growing up, I'm a child of a patchouli mama.
That's awesome.
I just grew up with a lot of fragrance around me. My mom loves to smell good, and I think she really impressed that upon me of just finding stuff in little candles and things. I've always just been interested,
Now, did she have a signature scent or did she have a collection of things?
Yeah, she had her. The one I think of her the most when I smell is Aromatics by Clinique. Obviously, so beautiful.
Clinique Aromatics Elixir. It kind of doesn't even need any introduction.
No, it's amazing. The thing too, but my mom, the way that I wear it too, I don't wear it on my skin.
You don't?
No, she's since I was a kid, she's I only walk through this one.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. It's beautiful on the skin too.
Yeah.
And I know you wear it.
Oh, I wear it
too.
all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gorgeous.
This perfume has a real hardcore following.
Yeah.
Because I love it. I didn't even spray it, and it's so.
Oh, I already.
I don't need to spray it.
I already got it. Oh, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just and it's not for the faint of heart either.
No.
It was a time. It's a maximalist sort of time of fragrance
100%.
where you're how many more notes can be in here? Oh, I'm like my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, really, really beautiful.
Yes.
It is just it's striking, honestly.
This is a perfume to live your life in. You can just imagine this as the backdrop, and it's quite a big backdrop.
Yeah,
too.
giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's the one that's why it makes sense to walk through it, I think, for me.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of customers come in with that idea if they're not hardcore into perfumes.
Yeah.
They're like, should I just put it in the air and walk through? Because I think that was in magazines
Definitely.
way back in the day.
And in movies, I think,
right.
Like my manager last night, I've been bringing her samples because she's looking for a new perfume and I just love helping with that.
Yeah.
And I watched her just walk through it, but it was Tubéreuse Astrale. So I'm maybe start by walking through it because if you're not used to something that has that big of a projection, it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Because for the most part, a lot of the fragrances in eau de parfum don't spray it in the air. It's just kind of a waste. Get it on your skin.
Yeah.
But perfumes were stronger. They really were, like before the 90s. Like a lot of them were chypres. And I don't mean in terms of concentration. I mean in terms of the materials that go into the perfume. Like something like patchouli, some of these notes are quite big and strong, you
Definitely.
know?
And that moss, it's just like, it's powerful.
For sure.
And that's why when I'm speaking and helping either artists or other creatives or anyone find a fragrance, one of the biggest questions I ask is, how far away do you want someone to have to be from you to smell you? Because, and especially with a lot of artists I find that I work with, some of them really value being like, this is my cocoon, and I have to allow you this close to like, for you to get to smell me. And it's kind of like, it's a privilege to be, you can kind of
like an intimacy.
Yes. Yeah. And I think perfume is such a cool way to sort of like play with that. Yeah. And sometimes you want to feel like you're announcing your presence. And sometimes it's like that quiet power of like, I'll let you come to me if I feel comfortable. And, and definitely. It's a cool way to kind of play with, your intention of how you want to feel in the world.
Definitely. It's almost like your voice. Like you don't want to go into a serious setting and just start like screaming.
Yeah.
You know what
Some people do.
They do.
I've been on some elevators, that it's still there the next time I go on, So, but everybody's different. I think it's fun to just play with that.
No, for sure.
I mean, I had a fragrance on the other day, and it actually freaked me out because I was on a walk with my friend, and a woman was on her bike.
Yeah.
And she rode by me on her bike, and then came back and said, "I'm sorry, but you smell so good."
You were trailing outside,
and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was scared because I'm like, I don't think I put on that much. It was honestly, it's Towédé by Notes de Paje. I'm going to say it wrong. De Paje. Anyway.
Okay, I don't know.
I got it at a different fragrance store in New York, but and I was wearing it with Molecule 01. So, but it's really fun how fragrance brings you together. Like she was like, "Please, can you show me what it is?" And I showed her online, but I said, she's like, "I'm just going to go buy it right now." And I said, "Oh, please don't do that." Like, she's like,
"You mean like online without trying it on?"
Without trying it. And I was like, all of my ethics and like morals are just like, no. And so I said, I promise to not, I can leave. I will make you a sample myself and I will leave it at a store I live in Nashville now. And she was like, "No, girl, I'll give you my address. Just come on by." And I dropped it off to her the other day, which it's so fun to like connect with people through fragrance.
Yeah, for sure.
And now she can try it on her skin and make sure that it feels good for her on her skin, So
it is true. It's such a great icebreaker.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone will recognize me like from the videos and whatever, and because I talk about perfume, they just start talking about perfume, and it's instantly like we know each other.
Yeah,
of
course.
There's no awkwardness, and we're just celebrating something that smells really good.
Yeah, it's a really fun middle ground. And it really taps into a lot of pleasure sense, in the brain and stuff. A lot of my songwriting sessions, I'll bring samples. A lot of times, I'll come into the store and I'll ask for some. I'll buy stuff and then bring some samples of my own fragrances to smell before we even write songs.
Oh my God, that's so interesting. Okay, just really quickly. So if you're just tuning in and you don't know who Steph Jones is, you know her music. She's one of the most in-demand songwriters in the business right now. She's written so many hits, it's not even funny.
Sweet.
No, seriously, it's incredibly impressive.
Thanks, Steve.
So, no, I love this. And I remember you mentioned this to me before about bringing samples to a session, and that's a way to kind of get started creatively. Mm-hmm. Can you talk me through one of those?
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of like, let's say, someone that I would work with, I have like a multiple days with them. So the first day, I'll kind of have a couple just kind of crowd pleasers.
Yeah.
And I like to see what they gravitate towards, and I'll ask them kind of, what do you typically like to wear? And if they tell me, then sometimes I'll start bringing things that are kind of like in that world, but maybe just coming outside of it and taking a chance in one way or another, right? So it's really fun. It's a really great way to get to know people, and especially before writing a song, it's so fun because most of the time you're smelling something being like, I love this. And creative, being creative is, sometimes it's hard to get to the I love this when you're writing a song.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to start from a place of openness and positivity and connection with yourself and with what feels good and what smells good. And so it's a really really fun way to start, just kind of throwing paint at a wall.
Definitely. Have you had any surprises, like an artist kind of going for something that you would have never predicted?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, actually, so many of them. There's a lot of people that I would really kind of pin them as like, oh, I bet it's, one thing and it really ends up being another. I think it's all a part of expression, and it's really fun to see how people want to express, even on or off the stage. And, so that's, I don't know. It feels it's a great joy of mine to get to like unfold that with people and just help or just show them fragrances like anyone, people on the street on their bike or, people I'm writing songs with.
Yeah.
And so, writing it can be such an intimate experience. So it is the best icebreaker to sort of just kind of see what people like, No, I love when people surprise me, because it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It's just like a different, Scout Willis, who comes in a lot. I've been working with her. She's amazing. And she really got me more into like really these raw fragrances.
Yeah,
raw
she
floral.
likes those
She likes
kind of bold animalic.
Yeah, I mean, she likes all kinds of things, but she really introduced me to a couple really cool ones.
Yeah.
And it's a fun experience to share, So, it's always very surprising. I don't know what I thought she would wear, but I knew it was going to be cool, whatever it was.
No, she's such an interesting person.
Yes.
So, I could never predict what she would like.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Tell me about the process of coming up with a song.
Yeah.
Like, maybe every song is really different. Maybe there's a kind of a pattern that you like to do. Like, do you come up with maybe like a melody or a jingle and then develop it from there? Or is there like a certain lyric that starts the whole process off?
Sure. I mean, it depends on who I'm with and what we're working on. But personally, I mean, I always have like a running note sort of just like phrases, titles, little like ideas, like stories, like just words that I think are cool. And when I'm in a room with someone, personally, I don't like to. I like to go off the cuff, like, which is like, that's kind of how I grew up writing songs. Was really just in like a very religious setting where I was basically. People were coming up and praying on a microphone, and I would like make up a chorus on the spot that would sum up what they were praying. It was like, it's a whole long story, but it was like a very interesting way to like come into songwriting. But so that affects the way I come into a lot of things, because my best stuff has been when I'm not thinking too hard.
Right. No. Totally.
So, but some people really like to be prepared, you know, but I really love, other, artists will have things that they want to talk about or things they don't want to talk about, or they're inspired by certain like synths, or I want an acoustic song, and so we're a lot of times starting with, I think for me, I need to know what we're talking about, or at least like a energy before I go into melodies and stuff. But, we've done whole songs where you just map out a melody and then try to make a story fit what we just sang. So it's different every day, which is what keeps me coming back, because it's like that itch I can just like never quite scratch,
Yeah.
So,
And are there some songs that just kind of come together immediately and other ones that kind of need a little bit more polishing? And,
Yeah. I've been a part of both,
Right.
And either way, it makes a great song at times, and, I've had some that we've rewritten, and then the really fast ones, and like, or where it'd be like, we've tried all day long and we'll be like, let's just do a Hail Mary, or something will happen at we've been there for 5 hours. We're just like, let's go home. And then something just happens. And then I have to always kind of listen back the next day. I'm like, was that really good? Or were we just relieved that we wrote a song? And a lot of times it's really good because we're exhausted. Your inner critic is just like, I have nothing left, you know? So sometimes the like true thing can come forward in a really clear way,
Yeah, that's interesting, because I know that process process, because when I used to sculpt for a living, sometimes you would just work, and at the end of the day, you're like, I can't even see what I'm doing, but I just don't know if it's going in the right direction. I end up breaking it, like on purpose, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, wow.
So that the next day I can come in and be like, all right, let's figure this out.
Oh my gosh! So you wouldn't even let it live like that. You would break it.
Sometimes you just know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just know it's not happening.
I get that.
You know?
No, I definitely get that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. See, like all of the things I work on are like invisible. So it's so interesting to hear about like a physical like piece of art, like your process with that. Yeah. That's amazing.
Wait, so your background in music, it started off through the church, like through worship service. And
yes.
That's how you got into music and playing.
Pretty much. Yeah. I just really loved my grandma, like introduced me to that. And I, when I was a kid, my first best friend at school went to the same kind of a church that my grandma went to. And I was like, I love my grandma. I want to go there. So I was like telling my parents, it was all on me. I was like, I'm setting my alarm. My friend Samantha's mom is going to come pick me up and we're going to church tomorrow. They're like, okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So it wasn't your parents
Nobody made me go.
Oh, right.
My dad definitely grew up religious with my grandma. It was my dad's mom. And, he, went back to church later on and things like that. So I definitely had, that more input than just her. But I just wanted to go. Yeah. And so, it's a really interesting, I don't really find myself being particularly religious anymore, but it really taught me so much. And there's a lot that still I carry and it makes its way into, honestly, even with perfume, because when I think that like when I stepped out of being so involved, I worked at a lot of different churches and I was a worship leader at different places. Perfume was something I used to kind of set my own pace and how I felt, because there was a couple churches I belonged to that were a little too controlling, right? Yeah. And fragrance was something that I felt like kind of reclaimed my own space in a way. And I could play with it and decide how I felt that day and wear something that like really just supported that on the inside. Yeah. So perfume has always been like an inside job for me, and even when I look now at my closet, like my perfume closet, which I moved into my place and I took over this towel closet, the linens closet. Yeah. I'm like, no, this is my perfume closet. And for you, it makes sense. You have to, because perfume is so important to you. And I have so many, and I love to share. So, I have all the little like decants. I can like make samples for people and a little sticker, like a label maker. And it's really fun. But when I open my closet door, I see my story. I see a lot of like times I want to go back to. I see feelings. Time machine. Yes. Yeah. I see times even when really hard things have happened. Like, that brings up Gris Charnel for me, honestly.
Let's talk about BDK,
that. Because, a few years ago, I had a partner that had passed away pretty suddenly. And it was a devastating time. And I remember coming to Scent Bar with my mom. Actually, she flew out and she stayed with me. And I had so much love and support around me at that time. But I remember going to Scent Bar and I was like, I need a new fragrance. Like, I need something to move forward. And I again, I've said it's always just been an intention setter for me. And Gris Charnel is the thing that I was like, this is for right now for me. This fragrance is what I want to feel like in this moment. And for a while I thought, oh no, is this going to be like my boyfriend died fragrance? Right. You know what I mean? But no, like when I come back to this, it's the most comforting, and it's, it's what it's about, like it's gray sweater, right? Yeah. Like it's like it's about, I forget the intention of the fragrance. Do you know more about that? No, not really.
I mean, it translates to carnal gray.
Carnal gray. Yeah. And it just,
or gray carnality. Or,
Right. It really takes me to a time when I felt really comforted. Yeah. And I think it's like that cardamom. Yeah. And
there's some tea.
Yes.
And the fig is so comforting as well.
So beautiful. Yeah. And it's soft, but it's still strong. And I felt, very supported by this fragrance during that time. And I'm so glad that when I look back at it, I was telling the girls at the store the other day, I'm just about to run out of it. Right. And it's like, I've never felt so emotional running out of a bottle because that bottle is the one I bought. You know what I mean? It was there for me, And so even now when I'm feeling like, I want to feel a little comforted or something, I'll reach for that.
Associate the smell with honoring him?
I do. And through honoring him, honoring myself, because I think especially he was the most amazing person. And I think that, he'd always just say like, I just want you to be healthy and happy. Yeah, and I think that's
good guy,
an amazing person. And I think, I wear that and I remember that I'm supported and it's honoring him. And I think the best way to honor him is to honor my life too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but I mean, fragrances can take me anywhere and can support me.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Kind of like at a moment where you need comfort, you put on that gray cashmere sweater and you just give yourself a little embrace.
Yeah, I love it.
That's beautiful.
And I even like to go to sleep. I wear Lait Concentré, which we don't have here today, but I sleep in it. It's my favorite to sleep in. I remember smelling that and being like, oh my gosh, like maybe on a cold winter day. But now, and then it just turned into something I reach for when I'm going to sleep.
Is it a regular thing for you? Like, really?
Yeah,
your
every
bedtime
night.
scent?
I've like dated people that are like, can I get some of that?
Are you serious?
I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's kind of amazing. So your whole bed must smell like...
Yeah, well, I wash my sheets, Steve. Well... Just kidding. Yes, but it does. Even when it's such a soft one, it's not a powerhouse fragrance. So it feels like
cocoon.
Yeah, definitely a cocoon.
Yeah.
But
when did you start wearing your own scents? I know that your mom was into scent.
Yeah. I started wearing I see the thing is that I worked for Starbucks for like 8 years. And something about Starbucks
Was this in Nashville?
I worked in Missouri, Austin, Texas, and then my last stop was in Nashville.
Okay, so 8 years, but in different places.
In different places, yeah. We'll make coffee, we'll travel, right. So my last stop was Nashville, but we weren't allowed to wear fragrance at the store, and so I remember I didn't wear it as often because I worked so much. And so I'd wear it at night. Yeah. But even if it was still on me, because I was going out partying.
What kind of things were you wearing?
I was wearing, I really loved, what one of my first ones that I loved was, sunflowers. But then when I was like a kid.
Oh, I love that one.
When I was a kid.
That's such a 90s happy moment.
Yes. Yeah. And I bought another of this one, CK Into You.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh my God. It's like it was like their unisex sort of Calvin Klein situation. And it's really cool. I like that one still.
Yeah. Do you still have it in your collection?
I still have it. Yeah. I bought another one at like a duty free. I love going to we've talked about the duty frees, But at Starbucks, you're not allowed to wear fragrance. Yeah. And, what's interesting to me is that one of the first times I smelled niche fragrance was when I was working at Starbucks, and there was a man that would come in every day wearing this fragrance. And the reason we weren't allowed to wear fragrance is because of the coffee beans around, you can smell everything so much stronger. Yeah. So we weren't allowed to like disrupt the smell of coffee.
Sure.
But when guests would come in, I called them my clients. When my clients came in, I was like, whoa, sometimes it was a lot. But this one guy, he always came from the gym and smelled amazing. And I asked him one day, I'm like, what is that? And it was Molecula 1. And this was like 12 years ago in Nashville. And I was just like, I have to have that. And that was the first niche fragrance I ever had. And I was like obsessed with it. I wear it almost every day.
That's so cool. Yeah. So did you go and order it online?
Yeah. I was like, where do I get this? Yeah. And he was like, I just found this website. Like, I don't even remember how he's not a guy that I would have thought. Like, he didn't strike me as someone that would know what it was.
Did you get it through Luckyscent?
You know what? I might have. Honestly, I want to go back. I want to see. Right. I don't remember. It was so long ago. Yeah. But also very funny is I moved to LA about 10 years ago, and I lived here for like 8 years. Yeah. So I moved back to Nashville a couple years ago. And a couple of weeks ago, I'm at the gym and I saw the guy.
No.
Yes.
No.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, hey, you probably don't remember me, but you used to come into my Starbucks every day. And like, I told him, I said, I just want to say thank you because you really opened up my world for like niche fragrance without knowing it. And now I like help people find fragrances.
That's
and like,
so wild.
It's really, really fun. And he was like, oh my God, I do remember you. I'm like, that's so crazy. It was like so long ago, but that's like another, fragrance just brings people together.
Yes.
It's so.
Was he still wearing Molecule?
Yes. He's like, to this day, it's still, I only wear that. Like, that's it. And he gets a lot of compliments. Of course.
Yeah.
Crazy compliment getter for it not being like
that's
a
why,
giant
I mean,
fragrance.
people are always surprised by this when they don't know Molecule and they smell it on the strip and they don't smell anything. And I said, this is actually our top seller. And they're like, really? It's the compliments.
Yeah.
You get addicted to those compliments. You have to
You
keep
know,
spraying
you get
Molecule
it.
away.
You get it. Yeah. And people, when I help people too, they're always like, what's going to get me the most compliments? And that's a fair question.
Yeah.
You know, the way I like to work through it with people though is my favorite thing to say is, okay, have 3 words and a sentence in your heart that sum up how you want to feel right now before you go to start smelling.
Yeah.
And that way, when you're smelling things, not only is it like, do I like this? Like, does this smell good? Then you can tap into how you're wanting to feel and go like, does this support that?
Yeah.
And so then, you know, people say that for certain fragrances are date night fragrances because you've decided it's sexy.
Yeah.
And so you put it on and you're like, I am sexy in this fragrance.
You'll carry yourself in a certain way.
Yeah, and it goes for anything. You know, when I bought my first home, I bought a fragrance that was like, this is my, you know.
To mark the occasion?
Yes.
What fragrance did you buy?
I bought Trudon Deux.
Oh, nice.
It's so beautiful and soft, and that tomato, I think it's a tomato leaf, right?
Yeah.
And Broxen and the cedar. It's just so warm still, and it felt cozy but refined and adult.
Yeah.
And I was really stepping into a very adult feeling moment with that.
And I love it conceptually because you bought the home and Deux is the garden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I didn't even think about it like that. I'm a terrible gardener. But I'm going to, maybe
not
you,
good
yeah,
either.
okay. I was like, can you teach me? It's fun doing that. You know, Johnny at Scent Bar at the store is probably one of the first people I started doing that with. And that's with Tihota.
Oh.
Yeah, that was when I bought Tihota.
Do you remember the first time you ever came into Scent Bar?
My goodness. It was definitely, because I lived down the street from it in Hancock Park, so I would just walk there.
Oh my God. And you came in because you already knew the website, Luckyscent?
Yes. Yeah. I definitely knew about it. I think that maybe Lucy Hale, she's an actress, and I was like, we're good friends. We go way back. And I think she told me about it maybe. And so I think maybe that was how I heard about it. But then I realized that I was like walking distance from it. So probably, 10 years ago when I first, but I didn't really start going until, I mean, you know, I started showing up like 3 times a week. And you guys even encouraged me I went to and did a certificate of perfumery class through Pratt University.
That's so cool.
And you guys were like, wait, have you, you know, it's just really cool. You guys have always been so supportive, and I've learned so much from you guys, and it changed my trajectory, you know, because I was feeling really bored in music at the time. And my best friend was like, wait, there's this thing, and you should take a class and do this thing. And so, it was really cool. They just sent us 3, the olfactorium kit, the 300 single note vials. Yeah. And we just smelled one thing at a time for months. And it was very cool. So
that's super cool.
Then with the store being by note, it really started opening even more of how I moved around the store.
Definitely.
And feeling more brave to kind of go out of my normal wheelhouse.
Or just explore things that you're not so familiar with.
Yes, exactly. But sorry, Tihota was Johnny. I was going in at the time, and there was a song that I had written with Sabrina Carpenter called Nonsense. It was just coming out. And I remember I was just so nervous because I'm I really hope this does well. Yeah. And Johnny was like, this should be your manifestation fragrance that this song's gonna do well. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we both put our hands on the box. It was so woo-woo and fun. He was like, this is going to be the fragrance that when you wear, you know that this song, and it did super well. Did super well on the radio. It honestly was a huge gift to me. And so Tihota is now...
Thanks to Tihota, that happened.
Thank you. Such a beautiful vanilla scent. Like,
I mean, we say this a lot in the store. When people are looking for vanilla, kind of all roads lead to Tihota. This is, I mean, arguably, this is the best vanilla that you're going to find.
Yeah.
That's a huge statement. I know, but it deserves it.
it is true.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. It's like, it's just so pure, you know? There's no frills or tricks with it. And some people may be like scared of that simplicity, but I am obsessed. And it also makes it great for layering.
Yeah. Now, I remember when this happened because I remember Johnny telling me about this song going really big. And at the time, because I don't listen to a lot of pop music, so I wasn't even familiar with the name Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Fast forward to Espresso, which is something you're very much behind.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm like, oh my God, how did I not know who Sabrina Carpenter was?
I mean, I feel like the whole world woke up to her overnight. You know what I mean? And I feel really lucky. I worked with her for like 10 years. So I met her when she was like 16. So very cool to be a part of a couple of really big moments with her. She works so hard and I just feel really lucky. You know, and even B683 is a part of my story too, because she always wanted to go right in Paris.
By the way, if you're just listening to this, we're talking about B683 from Marc-Antoine Berrois.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm like pointing at it so everyone knows. Yes, by Marc-Antoine.
Which I love this scent so much.
It's gorgeous.
It is so chic.
It is so chic. Like at first, I was like, is this chic, too chic for me? And I'm like, no, this is just right. And
yes, it is.
I ended up connecting with him and
with Marc-Antoine Berrois,
yes, in the store, one of his stores in Paris. He was so generous and showed me the store and like told me so many stories behind the fragrances. And this one, he gave me a bottle. He said whatever I wanted, and I picked the original B683, which I love the extrait as well.
Yeah.
And I chose that, and that's what I wore out to the studio where we wrote Espresso that week. So I was wearing B683 when we wrote it. And so that for me is like, oh, that's like,
oh my God.
You know,
that is so cool.
It's such a fun memory. And
I couldn't help but notice that in Espresso, the word perfume is in the lyric.
Of course, soft skin, and I perfumed it for you. You know, it's like it comes into everything we do, you know? And also, Sabrina has her own fragrance line.
Oh, she does?
Yeah. So that's a real big part of her world, too, which is something we have in common. And so that felt so fun to kind of bring that into the song.
That is wild.
Yeah. But it's such a beautiful, the leather... I think in Broxton too.
Yeah, very much. Oh, this is so chic.
I love
and you know
it.
what? We have this in common because at Scent Bar, we were all the employees were offered a gratis bottle from this brand.
Oh.
And so we had to choose one. And I also chose
The original?
B683. This bottle is mine.
Oh, this is okay.
Yeah, this is from my collection.
Perfect. Yeah. I love that. I always love when I align with you, with Claire, with anyone. Anytime I have one, like everyone at the store has such a cool, it's like you guys each have your own genre.
We do have, each
and I
person
love
has their own
that.
vibe. Yeah.
And it's very fun. I love to see which ones I kind of line up with at times. And this one is just really, really beautiful. And now when I smell it, I think about being in France and like just trying these songs. Like we were just trying stuff, and it just feels so open and and exciting to me now when I smell it.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. This is an idea that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I've been talking about it a lot lately, about these pockets of time. And what I'm referring to are these moments where kind of everything comes together. The place, the smells, the music, the people, you know, and everything just kind of meshes so perfectly that it's a special moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or as the kids say, a core memory.
Oh, is that it?
They're always like, this is becoming a core memory.
Yeah. No, I love that. And it doesn't happen all the time. Like they're few and far between, but I just remember these specific pockets of time. And I feel that was one for you.
Oh,
Being in Paris, writing with Sabrina.
Going
smelling like this.
Yes, going to the store and meeting like the staff and Marc-Antoine Berrois and just being like, this is so, I feel so lucky. And I feel, really a lot of gratitude when I think about it. And, and he gave me all these samples, like everyone at the studio, like gave them samples of it. And it's like such a fun thing to share with people. And it's fun when those moments line up.
Sure.
And
you know what? Actually, that makes me think of something because Marc-Antoine Berrois was in Los Angeles a little while ago, and he talked about the creation of his line and how this fragrance came to be. And what's interesting is he kind of had one of those perfume moments, with Quentin Bisch, the perfumer, who does all of the fragrances for his brand. And he said what they had in common, what they bonded over was this. This is Poivre Samarcande from Hermès.
Oh my, I haven't smelled this. I'm excited.
Okay, well, here you go. They found out when they first started talking that they both did this combination, which is very specific. They said they both wore Poivre Samarcande with Kelly Kalesh, also from Hermès. And I thought, that's so interesting. I love the fact that both of these people were obsessed with this fragrance, because this is one of my all-time favorites as well.
Gosh.
And you can kind of see or smell the DNA behind B683. A little bit.
Yeah.
That black pepper leather.
But it's still like sheer, and
Yes,
it's, you know what I
sheer.
mean? Not like a heavy. When I think leather and black pepper, you think that's so dense or something in your mind, but it's still like.
There's so much iso-y super.
Yes,
so
I was
much.
going to say, it takes you to like a beefed up cousin of Molecule.
Yeah.
You know, like someone who's been like really working out and taking steroids.
Definitely. So, I mean,
Beautiful.
Obviously the
I love
brand
that.
exploded. Ganymede became this huge global phenomenon.
Yeah.
And I feel it all started with a love of Poivre Samarcande from Hermès.
I love that. Honestly, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with me. I love hearing how that stuff happens. I remember when I met Marc-Antoine Berrois, and he was saying, because as Americans, like, I don't feel like I have like a strong scent story. Like, he was talking about his mother, I think, putting like violet oil on him, or like,
Yes.
and I'm like, in America, I'm like, I had like popcorn butter on me. I was like, that's so beautiful and regal. I was like, it's amazing.
I know.
I love hearing people's story with scent and the memories, and and I do think what's really fun about fragrance, and I'm sure a seat that you sit in, is, do you find most people don't really know what they like for a while? Like it's hard for them to, when people are newer,
they find it hard to articulate. They know it when they smell it.
Yeah.
And I also find that a lot of people like a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are versatile.
Totally.
They love all these different styles.
Yeah. And it's really interesting when they start telling you I always say, like, what are the last couple things you've worn? And a lot of times I'll be like, oh, wow, you like Ambroxan. Like, okay. Or you like, there's a through line a lot of times that people don't know is there.
Sure.
But I just think that's why it's so powerful, because when you really start looking into the notes, and you really, perfume just can be an inside job. I think it's like really beautiful to see what you like and what you're gravitating
Do
towards.
you think music and perfume, I've had this discussion with other musicians as well, go together? They have something in common?
Yeah. I mean, they're both completely expressive.
Yeah.
And, they both give you the ability to be whoever you want for a second, you know? Like, even in a song, right? It doesn't even have to be true. You can just write the thing you're feeling, or just that you would like to feel.
Yeah.
And I find that in fragrance. It's like, I might not feel strong right now, but I can wear something that might make me help me get
because
in that direction.
It's gonna hit you more emotionally than it's going to cognitively.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like we said about like date nights. There's intentions behind fragrances in the way that they're marketed to us, even.
100%.
And the way when I see a bottle, there's some memory, a thing. So we talked about, there's sometimes bottles that I overlook because I'm like, this bottle doesn't do anything for me, but then you'll stumble back on something.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about the Simone Andre, how do you say it?
Simone Andreoli.
See, I'm going to say everything. Like,
No,
I'm like,
beautifully.
Steve, say it, please. I remember walking into the store once and I said, I just have this feeling today, like I want to be like 16 and I don't know what taxes are.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm driving with the windows down and I have no cares.
Summer vacation feel.
Summer vacation. And I remember I had never been to the ocean section, and I saw a Pacific Park.
Yeah.
And the bottle, I admittedly just overlooked it easily, and it was so big. And
it's
I
kind of
tried
a nondescript bottle,
definitely. And I try to find smaller ones because I have so many fragrances. And but when I smelled it, I got really emotional. I'm like, weird. This is not what I would have normally picked. And then when I read the description, I'm going to butcher it, but it was basically saying something like, you're sitting at the Ferris wheel at Santa Monica and you're looking at people eating gelato and like you have no cares of the future. And you know what I was like, oh my God, like I have to have this, I'm like, this is exactly how I wanted to feel. And so now when I want to feel like windows down, no taxes. I put that on Pacific Park.
I love that. Customers come in and we guide them. They'll ask questions like, how do I do this? How do I find a fragrance that's going to work for me? And we'll tell them a little bit about notes. We'll kind of ask them, what do you like to wear? Some perfumes you've loved in the past. But I also say, just walk around and just pick up something that catches your eye.
Yeah.
Like intuition, believe it or not, is going to get you there.
Yes,
really.
Definitely.
I see it happening all the time.
Yeah, I think deep down we do know what we want.
We do know. Yeah.
On more levels than just perfume. I think if you just follow that thing, and
that's completely true.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of do know what I want. And sometimes I wake up and know, but sometimes I'm just curious, and like you have to lean in to the curiosity and try things.
Now, when you got here today, you smelled so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And you happen to smell like this. This is Jardin de Misfa. This is the extrait version from Une Nuit Nomade. And you recently just added this to your collection, and it smells so good on you.
Oh, thank you. I'm obsessed with that fragrance. I just got to LA for this writing trip and to be here with you, and like 2 days ago, and I woke up just thinking about that fragrance, and was like, I have to go to the store and go smell it. And I asked ChatGPT, I said, what is the intention behind this fragrance? And when it unpacked it, I started crying. I was like reading it, and it was talking about like soft aura power and or soft power aura and being in your feminine and like these gardens. And it was just like talking about all this stuff that really resonated with me. And even on the back of my phone right now, it says soft and tender. And it's like what I've been feeling lately, how I want to feel. And I was like, I have to buy it. And now when I wear it.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think that fragrance just popped into your mind, leading you to investigate and ask?
I don't know.
Yeah,
ADHD.
I
feel like I'm thinking about so many fragrances all the time, but every once in a while, something kind of it's like, I can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
and that's one that has been gnawing at me. Yeah. And I think when I come here, because in Nashville, there's a few stores I like going to, but I don't have the access to go into a scent bar, which we can always order online, which is so amazing.
Sure.
Nice to get the samples online and be able to have it there in places that you can't just walk into the store.
Yeah.
But that one in particular, I think the bottle has always caught my eye. I think then the dates and the honey and I'm not usually a rose person, but it feels really opulent, and it feels like the most it tiptoes gourmand, but it can feel sexy and for me it feels like a very expensive shampoo. Like just the most beautiful.
For me, that's one of the highest categories of achievement for perfume. If you smell like a good shampoo, I love that.
Totally. And it looks like, because the bottle is so dark and everything, I did think it was going to be way more, have a heavy sillage or something. Yeah. But I find it to be very, like, just even. I mean, it's definitely a bigger fragrance. It's an extrait, but it doesn't wear me.
No. It's not a powerhouse. No.
Yeah,
it's very, very balanced and beautiful.
Gorgeous.
This has been a real breakout hit for 2025.
I know Jenna when I went in the store, Jenna was like, it's my favorite from this year. Like one of her top ones.
I didn't even know.
So crazy. I didn't either.
But we're all in love with it. I think every person at Scent Bar wears Jardin de Misfa.
Yeah. Wow.
I know.
It's amazing. Oh. I want to smell it on David. I want David to wear it, and I want to know what David would layer it with.
Oh my goodness,
That's what I want.
Absolutely right.
I want to know.
That's so interesting. Look, this is like you choosing a singer for a certain idea that you have. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Does that happen? Do you come up with an idea for a song and you kind of think this is a song for so and so?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll have like a melody or like a concept that I'll be like, oh, this would be great for
and
this
it just goes with their
person.
vibe.
Yeah, you know, and I think fragrance is like that too,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
But I always have my idea and then we come together and maybe our ideas line up and maybe the cool thing is a little bit of mine and a little bit of yours makes the thing, you know? So it's really, I'm very collaborative in my way that I like to approach writing. Like I always say with artists, it's like, this isn't my song.
Right.
I'm a part of it, but you're the one who has to be up at 3 in the morning and like singing on Good Morning America and like doing the tour and like doing the thing. So I want to help you write your song, you know? And that's how I am with fragrance with people too, because when people are like, what should I wear? I'm like, I really am not the type of person that is like, let me just style you. It's a longer process because I really want to help you find what you like.
Yes.
I don't want you wearing a fragrance and being like, Steph picked this out for me. I think my greatest like joy is when I can help people ask the questions that lead them to their answer, you know, and it's more lengthy, but
this is so interesting because before we started recording, we were just talking about empathy. And I feel you are very empathetic. Is that the word?
Empathetic. Yeah. It's like, to a detriment.
I think that's why you're such a gifted songwriter, because you can feel what the other person is feeling, and it's the meeting of minds and creativity and really sharing and getting to know the story that they're trying to tell. And you do it with perfume as well. That's so
I love
interesting.
it. And the whole thing is, you know, I've always been really good at feeling what other people feel, and it took me a long time, and I still work on feeling my own feelings and how I feel. And, you know, they say the thing that you're the most like, you know, that you want to scream from the mountaintops is probably the thing that you know, yourself kind of work through. And it is my greatest work going, what do I want? What do I like? You know, it is, I'm really good at helping other people, and I've gotten really good at doing that for myself, and it's a gift.
So cool.
And I think that,
do you think perfume was a tool that helped get you there?
Absolutely. Even from the beginning with church, you know, it's like when I stopped having somewhere to go, Tuesday night for rehearsals, like Thursday night, Saturday service, a Sunday, all day, all these services, and, you know, all of this, I'm like, where am I now?
Yeah.
And it's because it was a huge part of my life. And so fragrance definitely was one of those things that really led me back to myself.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Truly. Yeah. I feel grateful for that. And that's how I like to help other people too. You know, it's like, I'm sure it'd be easy to go like, wear this. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun to just hand somebody something and be like, this is for you. Don't ask me any questions.
Yeah.
But I like collaboration. I love people, like learning about them, like you, and I love hearing your stories about your life, and you know, and I think that's what's so beautiful about it.
That's beautiful. There's such a joy in this curiosity. There's like this sparkle that I get from you, which is incredible.
Thanks,
when you first got here today, first I said, you smell amazing. But then I also said, I love how you were so decisive, because I asked you, could you come up with maybe 5 Hall of Fames? And these are not, according to you, the greatest perfumes that were ever made in the history of perfume. These are your Hall of Fames, and they're on this list for different reasons.
Yeah.
But what you said was intentional. And that's interesting. So tell me about that. Like, what do you mean by perfumes being intentional?
Yeah, I think that, you know, when you ask me that question, I guess you could just go like, these are my opinion of, these are the best fragrances, you know? And it's so open to interpretation, like all fragrance. Like, it's because that's how I think about music. It's how I think it's, you know, it's like, if someone were to ask me about my favorite songs, I'm like, I love this song, but maybe this one because the story around it really is cool to me, and it's the whole experience.
Right.
So when I think about a fragrance like that, what are my favorites? The intention of it in my life, the way it relates to me, is how I'm going to share about my favorites.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you've seen, it's like I have like a very specific story I could tell about each one of these and what it meant to me then and what it means to me now, you know? And, you know, even with, when we wrote Espresso, so it's like B683 by Marc-Antoine Barrois is the song of when I wrote it. But when it went number one on the radio, that for me is then I went and bought Fleur Narcotique by Ex Nihilo.
I love that, like as the celebration.
Yeah, because I also was like, it's so expensive. And I was like, it's an expensive brand, you know? And I was like, honestly, it's went number one. I earned this. And it's so beautiful and it feels so celebratory and mature. And it's a fun one to wear now. And I have, you know, all of these intentions, you know, that like when I want to feel, probably I would say now Fleur Narcotique is like, I want to feel successful and supported and open to possibilities. Like where now? Yeah. You know, where next? Yeah. Because a win like that for me really just means that's amazing. And now where do we go from here? Yeah. And so I don't know.
How interesting that both of those perfumes associated with espresso are Quentin Bisch fragrances.
Are they?
Yeah, Fleur Narcotique
I did
is
not
also.
know.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty
Please,
sure. But I'm pretty sure he did Fleur Narcotique.
I mean, he is one of my favorite perfumers. I mean, I
talk
can't...
about a good songwriter, that guy. Oh, you know,
we should write a song together. If you hear this, my emails.
No, it's really interesting because during the lockdown, I was doing these interviews on Instagram Live. Yeah. And they were really great conversations. And I reached out to Quentin Bisch because, you know, obviously I was a big fan. I still am.
Of course.
And he wasn't able to do the interview, but we had a really nice exchange and interaction. And I found out that he loves the band Dead Can Dance.
Wow.
And I love the band Dead Can Dance. And it's kind of specific.
I love that. It's very specific.
It's very specific.
You have a lot of parallels with him, I feel. With the Hermes.
Oh.
And you know what I mean? There's like a
Steph.
There's like a few more
I didn't even think of that.
That's very cool.
And he's a visual artist as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah. I love when
I've never met him, but it's true. I feel like there's certain specific things that we're both really into.
Yeah. He should be interviewed by you.
I would love to interview him for sure.
That would be a joy. Yeah.
But that's so interesting how it all ties together with espresso, Sabrina, you, Quentin Bisch.
Yeah, my life, my you know, like some of these you would think would be rooted in like some sort of painful experience, but it's also like can be transformed into something that comes in, you know, it's just a very the only fragrance that's ever been ruined for me for some reason. I'm like, why do I have to go? I'm like, it's so positive. Here's a negative thing. I'm like,
look, life has the bad stuff too.
And it's just like, this is the human thing. I got really sick one time in London and I was wearing Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. And I love that fragrance. I really do. And now every time I smell it, I'm like, I'm sick. That's the only one. Maybe, you know what? I have hopes though. It's like kind of you're like, I don't think so.
I don't think
you'll be able to transform that one. I know. Some of them, you know, you smell them like I wear, like the other morning I wore Cool Water.
Oh, love.
Walking around the house, the women's Cool Water, which I love the men's too. And I was like, ooh, I love this. I miss this. I love how some of them will bring you back to like, I remember my first, like one of my crushes that I had back in the day. I knew he wore Axe body spray.
So cool.
I don't remember which one it was, but I used to spray it in my car because I would be like Luke was here. He was not in my car. Maybe he was one time. Wait, yeah, he was. He was in my car one time. He was my big crush. And so it is, if I smell that now, I'm still like, where is Luke now? What's that guy
Oh, it
doing?
hurts. I know.
And I'm like, I was a different person then too. Such a crazy journey.
But in a way, we're still our 15-year-old selves. Like,
absolutely.
yeah, with those crushes. And,
Is there a fragrance that you would go back to be like, I want to feel like the 15-year-old me with a crush?
Is the way you feel then, I mean, as being much, much older now, like you don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
Like you don't get those crushes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But if you wanted to, if there was a fragrance that would bottle up the way.
You know what? That's probably why I have, over the years, collected almost all of the fragrances that meant a lot to me in those years.
Yeah.
You know, so I have Drakkar in my collection. I have Obsession for Men. I have Eternity for Women. Like I have Calyx. I have all of these perfumes because they really are enmeshed with these memories at a time when I felt things so deeply.
So deeply. Yes. It's like this feeling might kill me. I feel insane. It's great.
Isn't
Hormones
it wild?
are insane.
I know. And it's good in a way.
Yeah.
I guess it's this survival of humanity. As
of
you
course.
get older, it mellows out a little bit. You know?
Like, I just want to smell like expensive shampoo from a hotel that like I can't afford to go to right now.
Not that I'm going to die because I'm so in love.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No.
That's pretty wild.
That's amazing. I love that. Do you layer a lot of those?
I end up layering, but more by accident.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's probably the same with you
Totally.
because we love perfume. So you'll start with something in the morning and then by the afternoon you have another fragrance on. And, you know, actually I wanted to bring this up because you told me this really interesting combination that you invented, which I think is genius. We were talking about this perfume, which is Black Tie from Celine.
Beautiful.
We both love it.
Beautiful.
I mean, an incredibly chic vanilla. Very different from Tihota.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
But you said, I wonder if you combine Tihota with Molecule plus Iris, if it would get you there, get you into the ballpark. And it does.
It does.
It really does.
It's a little sweeter, but it just depends on how much you put of each thing, right?
Yeah.
So it does get me there.
It does for me
and
too.
it's like, it's fun to reach, because I don't have a bottle of Black Tie. Did they discontinue it?
Well, there's a whole thing.
I've heard some murmurings.
Yeah. The official word is no. They have not discontinued it.
Okay.
But last time I was in Celine, I asked, do you have it? And they said no.
No. Okay. It's like, it's not discontinued, but we don't have it.
They haven't had it for like a year or two, or it's, who knows?
I know. I think I might have to get it. Well, if I can find it.
Yeah.
Or I just wear my combo.
Wear your combo.
And I always I don't know how you like to layer, but I tend to go like in different areas, like not on top of each other. Like I'll put them side by side, or maybe different sides of my wrist, or up my arm and on my neck.
Yeah,
and
they will cancel each other out for sure.
It's like it's like a healthy relationship, right? You want them to be their own beautiful, independent things.
Shine on their own.
Don't get them enmeshed.
Yeah,
you know, let them shine on their own in the air and
definitely.
around.
They start to mingle in the aura.
The beauty is in their own independence.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, you nailed that. Did you bring any specific fragrances for this trip to LA? I know it's a kind of a short trip.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I always bring my travel of Molecule.
Okay.
This time, for what I brought Supernova by Andrea Mack.
Oh yeah.
And is it Andrea Mack or Mack?
Mack.
Okay.
I think.
Mack.
Yeah.
And
Mack. I think. Okay.
Yes. And I just, that one's like really spicy and deep, and it also layers well with Molecule, so does everything.
Yeah.
And I think that I brought the Reutefeldt, the Carine Reutefeldt, the one that is, oh my goodness, it's Carine.
Carine, yeah.
I brought Carine. I love that fragrance. It's really chic. I think Susanna was the one who told me about it first.
I know, I'm obsessed with it too.
It's good. Do you layer it with anything?
Carine I wear just on its own.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's gorgeous. It's like complex, I feel, but it's really beautiful.
I wanted so badly for you to be there because we had a party for her at Scent Bar.
I'm so sad I missed
And I texted
that.
you. I'm like, Steph, I hope you're in town because I would love for you to come.
Oh, I would have loved that. That looked like a blast.
It was fun.
That's
it was a
so
lot of fun.
Yeah, I brought those. I mean, I think So apparently I was feeling a little spicy.
That's good.
I think I always bring Molecule because it grounds me.
Yeah.
And when I'm traveling, I like something familiar. I like one familiar scent. And then one that I've kind of been wearing more, which Supernova for some reason is, I think, because the weather turning in Nashville and just feels nice. And then one sort of like, oh yeah, I forgot I have that.
Right.
You know, I kind of like to keep it to that. But then sometimes I have a ton.
Yeah.
You know, but I know I'm going to come to Scent Bar and I know I'm going to buy something probably.
And you did. You got Jardin de Misva.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I'm just like, I can't stop smelling myself.
Yeah. I feel great that you're starting a new year wearing Jardin de Misva.
Me too.
Yeah.
It feels like hopeful to me and sure of itself. I think
like, so too.
Quiet power. I think that feels really nice.
And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the inspiration of this fragrance, it's the Gardens of Misva. And apparently it's up in the mountains.
Yes.
And I'm imagining this beautiful secluded garden in the mountains, you know? Dates and honey and roses. And I get a little touch of fig in there too.
Yes.
I like this idea of this beautiful secluded garden just being in a natural perfection.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
starting a new year.
I love that. Yeah, I just feel so grateful that fragrance has like brought us together, brought so many people.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I learned so much from each person in the store, honestly, and everybody's personal stories and become, you know, really friends with people and caring about each other's personal lives. And it's perfume. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the great thing between us.
For
you know what I mean? And
I love it because they're such honest stories. You can't really have pretense in perfume so much. It's just telling like a song. It's just
definitely.
It just speaks to you. You don't even have to think about it, and you just get it.
Exactly. But it's like my song is not going to be the same as yours.
Exactly.
You know? So it's cool. It's really cool to hear. I love hearing what fragrances mean to other people and what that kind of takes them to. I love when somebody says, this takes me to a time, you know? And it's I love watching someone trying to find that place. Because like, what is that? You know?
Steph, you are literally helping us to find our songs. And that is your contribution to the world. And I love that.
Thank you, Steve. You're the best.
Thank you so much I have a feeling we're going to stop recording and we're just going to keep talking because
I know we will. I appreciate you having me. This was such a joy. I really, really love being here.
Thank you so much again. It's really encouraging to know that there's so much sharing and generosity in this perfume world. It's just kind of, I don't know, it just makes me feel good.
Yeah,
and a nice way to start the year.
It's perfect. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank all of you, and we will see you next time.